This isn't going to have any controversy. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's just roll into it, shall we? This is my top 9 best games at every player count. It's top 9, not because I'm trying to be cool and trying to be different. It's because I don't have a game at 10. There you go. That's it. Like, not some cool reason. By the way, this list took me less than 2 minutes to put together. The only one that was difficult, the only one that for a moment was difficult, was 2-player. That's it. Everything else came very naturally to me. I challenge each of y'all to do the same. Leave it in the comments down below. So with that said, let's get started. Number 9, Mega Civ. You could fill in Eastern Empires, Western Empires, any of the advanced Civ variants that you want. Let's face it, when we get to 9 players, not a whole lot of options that aren't roll and rights and so on and so forth. Could have been a roll and write. I just chose what I think is the best game at every player count. Mega Civ. You gotta like trading, you gotta like negotiation, and you gotta deal with a long game and roll with the punches. I'm terrible at it because I'm very honest, but I still love it. I think it's an amazing game, and yeah, for 9 players, I'm good with that. Number 8, Sidereal Confluence. Is there any other negotiation/trading game that truly motivates you and wants you to work together to make trades? Now, I realize that Mega Civ, you got to make trades and do all that. But in Sidereal Confluence, the game, like, you benefit. Even if you take a small loss in a trade, it still benefits you in the long run, provided you can do a whole lot of trades. And there are few games that do it so well as Sidereal Confluence. Now, 8 players, probably a convention game, sure, or maybe a bigger game day. But yeah, for a trading game at 9 players and 8 players respectively, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to beat Sidereal Confluence at 8 and Mega Civ at 9. Moving on down to 7, Struggle of Empires. I would argue that this is Martin Wallace's second best game. We're going to omit that other one, that whether or not it's a Martin Wallace game. But I feel like this is a war game done in the style of Euro that plays legitimately great 5 to 7. But I think at 7, it really, really shines. It's a longer game, but you get some, I'm noticing a trend here. You get some negotiation, non-binding trades in this. You get combat that doesn't really make you feel too bad if you lose it, and mitigatable die rolls. Yeah, that works for me. I'm pretty keen on that. So that's my number 7, Struggle of Empires. And by mine, I mean everybody's. Number 6 is a game I've never won. Medici. It never fails that when we have 6 players and don't want to split into 2 groups of 3, I'm gonna be like, hey, y'all want to play Medici? I'm terrible at this game. It's best at 6 players. Why? Because all the tiles, all the goods in this game are in there. It is a pure auction game, and it's got a bit of set collection in there, but I'm terrible at it. I consistently not just lose, but get obliterated at it. And you would think, as good as I am at most auction games and how much I enjoy, that I would be better at this. But I think that's part of the appeal with Medici, is I'm terrible at it, and it plays in about 45 minutes to an hour for 6 players. That's awesome. Big fan of that one. Moving on. And this is a hill I will die on. The second Martin Wallace, and in my opinion, Martin Wallace's best design. Automobile. Fascinating game of risk management. Player controlled economy, if not a player driven economy. And it's all about mitigating that risk of pushing small edges on, can I afford how much do I advertise? How much do I produce? How much can I produce? What can I sell? Can I sell them all? And when to close down your plants. This is one of the most perfect games designed, and it shines very much best at 5 players. If you've not played Automobile, do yourself a favor and go play Automobile. Find 4 friends and go play Automobile right now. Okay, after the list, but go do that. It is phenomenal. So, yeah, Hill I Will Die On for 5 players. Feel very confident that you're going to be hard-pressed to find, well, let's face it, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a game better at any player count on this list. That's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge for those at home. 4 players. Could be a bajillion different games, but I'm going to give the most common player count to what is the single best designed game system in board game existence, and that's Age of Steam. Sure. Are there maps that play from solo up to like 7 players? Yeah, but 4 is the most common player count. And as long as you match the right map to the player count, there is no better game system in existence than Age of Steam. It has route building, it has trains, but ultimately it's an auction game, and it is miserably delicious in all the ways that we want it to be. Age of Steam at 4 players, easy. And if you're a fan of this show, this next one's not going to be a surprise. Sure, I could have put Maria here, but it'd be the wrong answer. The right answer at 3 players, 3 Kingdoms Redux. Most of y'all have not played this, and that's a crime against board games. Seriously, 3 players. It fixes the age-old, oh, these 2 players fight, so the player that stays out of it wins. It's impossible. It's designed out of this game. Factor in some amazing asymmetry, great history, Romance of the 3 Kingdoms, as well as just an absolute passion project. 3 Kingdoms Redux, far and away, best 3-player game in existence. Go play it. And, oh yeah, auctions. There's that. So this is the only one that gave me a little bit of a pause. And then when I realized, wait a minute, there's an obvious answer, then it was an obvious answer. Uwe Rosenberg's absolute best game, Or at Labor. It is resource management with tableau building. Yes, the only thing that goes against Or at Labor, and I do mean the only thing, is the fact that there are only 2 different decks. I would pay a unreasonable amount of money if Uwe Rosenberg would design more decks. That's it for this game. I love Agricola. I think Agricola is fantastic. I think Le Havre is a masterpiece. This is the best of all of them. Or at Labora, far and away, the best of the Harvest series. No doubt. Best 2-player experience out there. And number 1 was tough. Believe it or not, came down to 2 games. That one, which is the right answer, Mr. President, or 1862. Yeah, sure, I'm sure some of you people would say Mage Knight. You're wrong, but that's fine. Mr. President, there is no better solo experience that I've ever had in my entire life than Mr. President. Is it going to hit the table often? No, because it's massive and unwieldy and a table hog, and it takes days. But you know what? There's no better solo experience that I've ever had, far and away, than Mr. President. There's just no argument on this. I thought about 1862, and I love 1862 as a solo experience. Mr. President is clearly the right answer. So there you go. That is my top 10. Okay, it's 9 because I got nothing for 10 players. But my top 9 best players at every player count. Fight me on it. Let's go. These are hills I will die on. On a serious note, all hyperbole, there are a bunch I could have put on here. But the fact that this list came to me so organically, yeah, I feel real good about this list. So I am very curious to hear what y'all's are. Leave it in the comments down below. I appreciate it. Normally we interact a whole lot here during these live streams, but it's not happening here. So that is it. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hey, y'all made it this far. That's awesome. Gold star for you. Maybe check out some of those other videos that are listed there. Subscribe to the channel. Consider supporting us over on Patreon. All those things help the channel grow and make more content for y'all. So thanks, y'all.